Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this live stream. I hope everybody is really doing well. And we have been nailing with the streams, guys. And XRP pumped 20%, and INJ pumped 24%, and we are printing. So our plans are perfectly playing out. So Send literally filled us to the bottom of 72 cents and pumped 79 cents. Practically above the average of, really good actually. A lot of DeFi are looking good, and I do think that a lot of you guys who are listening to me since like 2021, I've been very vocal about it, is that this bull run, in my view, is, yes, AI is something new, opportunities that have came, or maybe like a new air that is coming. But I think DeFi is literally going to start its own bull run, and DeFi coins can literally go nuts. Practically, in my view, that's what I feel. Actually, it's still in the early stages of those scenarios, but I feel that it's literally gonna do it. And when it does, I think DeFi is likely going to be my biggest bull run bags, especially Aave, Comp, RSR, Link, a lot of DeFi good coins, Uni, a lot of, you just name it. We have a lot of Rune and a lot of the bags. So before we deep dive into my analysis of DeFi or any other Bitcoin or any other altcoins, first of all, let's just review our yesterday's stream, what we discussed. Yesterday, we discussed that we really need to wait for a daily closure for a USD DOM so that we can get confirmation whether the USD DOM literally closes above, RSI based MA, or it just closes under. Now, if you look at from the daily time frame perspective, yesterday we closed above RSI based MA, which in my view is honestly a bullish thing for USD DOM. And I would like to see a one more daily closure basically today. If we are closing today above RSI based MA, which is 22.32, then I would be very much confident on literally exiting my Bitcoin spot bags and probably even hedging it. In my view, that would be the most sensible thing at this point we should be doing, once I get this closure as well. Now, in case if we are getting closure exactly at or very close to RSI based MA today, then I will probably wait for another closure as well. But you know why? Because you really want a concrete confirmation of a reversal, and you don't really want to have a very weak confirmation. So practically, if today we are closing literally under, then yes, I would be bullish on Bitcoin and basically bearish on USD DOM. Basically, it makes sense for us to hold Bitcoin rather than USDT at this point. That's what it would say. Looking to the structure and every damn thing, I personally believe and feel that, the USD DOM is going to close above RSI based MA, because we have a nice bullish divergence over here on RSI, as well as the price have literally went to 161 at Fibonacci levels and very close to 3.64% bigger support. So practically, this is what my idea is for a USD DOM on the daily, that we are a big support actually. One more important thing over here is that MACD over here, as you can see on the daily time frame, it have started curling on an upside, basically looking for like a retest of a signal line. And also the histogram suggests that there is a possibility that the dump on USD DOM is coming to an end probably next few days, because this histogram daily, with every move on the downside, the histogram is going lower and lower. Sorry, not lower, but it's making higher lows and higher lows, and not lower lows basically. As you can see the structure, which clearly indicates that the momentum over here is losing, which means that practically that USD DOM is finding its legs over here for a probable bounce at this point. So we need to be slightly cautious when we are talking about longs, or when we are talking about having big exposure in the market, I would suggest each and every one of you to just play spots. And I will not be encouraging any one of you to have future trades. Yes, you really want to have futures. Don't use more than 2x leverage. Max you use 3x. Even 3x sometimes are not safe for shit coins that don't have liquidity. So 2x will be definitely safe, and it won't liquidate you in case of big wicks. Because the wicks tend to be like a full-fledged reversals, and it's just going to be like a liquidity grab, and the price is literally going to go nuts after that. So practically, you should be playing just the spots in my view. That's my idea. So talking about the weekly time frame, or before we even go to weekly, look at the 3 days time frame as well. The 3 days chart also suggests on a USD DOM that we are likely we are literally going to the most oversold territory in the history of a 3-day chart. As you can see, we have never been to 18.77% since the bull run of 2018. Basically, that's the first time we are going under 18. I would say even under 22% practically, because the last time we really went there, and we went on 7th of Jan 2021, basically when Bitcoin was when USD dominance a little topped out. But after that, once it went here, what happens? It just goes for like a V-shaped recovery. So practically we have a nice support on a USD DOM. In 2017, basically, in 2016, we literally went close to 15% levels. And in 2015, we went to 18.6% levels. So we are very close to the existing support levels of 18.56 practically to 2012 levels. And hence, I would just have to tell you all that USD DOM is not giving me the good vibes over here. I mean, honestly, it just tells me that yes, it's good to be bullish around here. It's good to be buying spots. It's good to be in the market at this moment, but we really need to manage our risk. And if you're going overboard, like FOMOing, then you are going to face a tough time, because a 20% dump out of nowhere is going to kill you, literally going to wreck you. The exchanges are not going to stop you. Exchanges are not going to run your stops. It's just going to run your liquidations, and you won't be able to do anything about it. So, and the market is going to reverse on the spot immediately after those flush, So that is very, very, very common, and that is very, very necessary actually when these sort of things happen. Now, I'm not telling that it's going to happen in a day or it's going to happen in 2 days. No, we might probably continue this for like next few days, maybe like today, maybe like next 3 days, 4 days or so. But I don't think we are going to continue like whole pump is going to continue for like March. No. So basically, I think that in the month of March itself, probably maybe in next few days, I think in the month of March itself, maybe this week or maybe next week, I'm expecting a big reversal on USD DOM. Now we have to be very, very careful when I'm talking about it. I'm going to discuss on this in few as to what sort of a dip we should be buying, what sort of a pullback we should be buying, and what exactly the pullback we should be buying. So which alts, or whether Bitcoin we should be buying, what alts we should be buying, or what we should be buying. So that's what I'm going to discuss with you in the next few minutes. Now, this is what I have for a 3-day chart. Looking into the weekly time frame on a USD DOM, historically, for the first time, we are going to the oversold territory. Like it's almost under 20, almost at the 20, I would say. Historically, we have never been to those levels, and for the first time, we are doing it. And historically, we have never been these overbought when we went in June 2022. So, practically this was historical highs. These are historical lows. And if you really ask me where you can see or sense the support, I think the support, it would be like if you draw these lines over here, I really, really feel that yes, the USD DOM is like literally a support, I mean, you can see here, that's like a trend line support, and that's the trend. So that's how you are making a very interesting highs over here, lows over here, higher, lower highs over here, and lower lows over here. That's why I think if this is lower lows, I would like to see USD DOM pumping back to 53% or 50% and maybe come back down one more time like this, or it can literally good nuts up from there towards maybe, 70 or maybe 75 to reset this whole thing. So hence I would suggest each and every one of you to exercise caution with leverage. Don't tell me that I'm not told you to do so, because we really want to be in this game for long. I really don't want you to see wrecked hard just because the market is pumping, the coins are going left and right, and you feeling FOMO. Yes, if you're feeling FOMO, just go to spots. I mean, you can make 20% on spots easily with a pump, exit, put it in another alt and make it. In this month of March itself, with the spots we have played, I've made more than 100% gains actually so far with all the spots that we have played so far. And I'm really happy. In fact, even if I play leverage, I don't go more than 2x, and I've made good amount of money, honestly. So this is just my small advice to you, that at this point you really need to be very cautious with using high leverage. Even your stops might not hunt, and even if you're using stop loss, at least don't use the mark stop loss price as the mark. Use it as a last price, so that at least the liquidation immediately get trigger. Sorry, not liquidation, but your stops immediately to get trigger, and it don't go to your liquidations. Okay, I mean, it might probably save you. I'm not sure, but it should save you actually. Talking about a weekly chart or a weekly time frame, I do think that weekly is still from the histogram perspective. The weekly is still from the MACD perspective is not yet ready. And why do I say that? Because weekly, I am not seeing any sort of a reversal sign on a histogram. Despite the fact that MACD is at the lowest on a weekly time frame for USDT dominance, historical lows as you can see since 2016. So practically this also means that at this point, I think that we can probably continue for like next week or so. And once, MACD starts curling back upside and we start seeing a very interesting very interesting weekly USD dominance histogram candles making not lower lows but higher lows. So practically this is where we're going to form a bullish divergence as well on the weekly, but we really need to wait for a week or 2 week candle to confirm if this is literally going to happen. If that happens as well, because normally a weekly histogram divergences are very powerful and very strong. You should never ever ignore such sort of signs actually, because when that shit happens, you really understand that this is going to be the most bullish thing, and it's going to be like the biggest reversals you're going to get. So maybe it's very early to say it's going to happen. I even don't know whether it's going to happen, but for now the eyes on those things. So RSI is at support on weekly time frame, and the daily is also, it's like a support to me, honestly. We just need to wait for a day or one more day or maybe 2 days max to understand if literally this is going to held or no. Because if RSI goes back under, the RSI base MA line, then definitely USD dominance is going to be bearish, and we are literally going to go pump more actually going this week. So that's what the USD dominance is all about. Talking to the most important thing over here is I really want to focus you guys on how the total crypto market cap looks like at this point. Well, the total crypto market cap have literally pumped up to the or it's going close to making the sweeping the highs practically, but it has just broke above the 2.58 trillion dollars. And if you remember, when Bitcoin literally tried to break those levels, we really saw that 15% flush, if you remember. And after the 15% flush, it just started making new highs. Now that 15% flush over here is something very possibility is always there, but right now we have a strong support for the total crypto market cap. Even if you do happen to see a flush, I think it will just going to go there, probably maybe max it goes here, and it's going to run back turbo to sweep the highs like this. So total crypto market cap is likely going to follow as well. And hence I think, in my view, the next big bags we should be buying, in my view, should be alts actually, and probably Ethereum, you know. And I'm going to tell you why. So basically, even if you get like a 15% move, our SR algo is saying that $202.26 trillion is going to be the big support for total crypto market cap. That's where we are likely going to bounce. So makes like 15 to 16% move from the current price. Total is bullish at this point. If you look at from the perspective of daily, so daily RSI have made some bearish divergence over here on the daily time frame. And even, you know, the RSI is feeling some heat at the MA. So practically at this point, just want to see how RSI is going to close. But then we are having a bearish divergence, clear bearish divergence over here. So the momentum might be losing. We are pumping with the low momentum at this point. And there is a little slight pattern of a head and shoulder. Not yet confirmed. I don't like to play this head and shoulder. But we just want to see how are we going to close this daily as well. If you're closing above the RSI based MA, then probably, you know, we have a good chance to run up. Else we are just going to destroy the total too and probably just going to dump the total. Talking about now, very important thing, you need to hear me out. First, Total 2 have successfully flipped the equilibrium of a bigger range, which means that you really need to have a heads up, have, you know, a straight head in a game that understand that, you know, Total 2 have flipped, meaning any retest you get around 1.05 to 1.04 trillion will simply be a good and a big buy. We should be aiming towards $1.5 trillion. Yes, alts and Ethereum are gonna go much run higher up. Basically, it's not gonna stop. We are, in case if we do happen to get our flush, this is how it's going to do. Zoom and do. That's how it's going to do actually. So alts are going to go like zip. They're going to fly like, you know, a rocket. And that's how it's going to go fast. If you look at the Total 3 as well, congratulations, for the first time we have seen Total 3 have flipped $688 billion. That's an equilibrium. We have a lot of opportunities in the market for alts specifically. And if you look at here, you know, the Total 3 over here, practically, I expect it to probably give us a retest of 680 to maybe 650 billion dollars, something like this, reclaim this equilibrium and run it back turbo towards, you know, 880 and maybe $1 trillion. So just imagine a 40% pump would be amazing for alts overall. And hence I personally think the next move would be like Bitcoin gets a dump, you know, let's say Bitcoin gets a dump like this, Bitcoin slowly go up like this, chop, it goes up like this. Bitcoin not make higher highs, Bitcoin make lower highs like this. And Ethereum also get a dump. Ethereum makes higher highs like this. Alts make higher highs like this. Everything finish this whole move and we go for another big move on the downside, later point of time. Or maybe we can just probably go sideways accumulation for like a bigger sideways for Bitcoin. And then Bitcoin run towards, you know, 100K at that point of time. So that I do think that, you know, also need a big catch up. And I think this is our good opportunity that's going to happen probably in case if we do happen to get that move on the downside. Now, one thing I'm damn sure about it is the dump at some point is going to happen. We can't simply just keep on going up, and USD dominance can't simply keep on extending to move on the downside. It's definitely going to reverse, and when it's reverse, it's going to be a very big and nasty move practically. So the only problem what I see over here is from where. Probably what might happen is Total 3 starts running, alts goes nuts one after another, you know, like this. It just pumps up from here straight to $1 trillion. And then we get our flush like this, and then also run like another run up like this. So there is a possibility, you know. And so hence we really need to use the lower time frame for alts, and that for that I'm going to use, you know, the 12 hours and 4 hour time frame. So first, if we talk about the 4 hours time frame, we are having a 9 rockets over here at $745 billion practically. So basically we are definitely having some tough times for a big resistance over here. We got a nice move on the downside to $576 billion. Remember the flush that we got? And after that, alts have pumped, almost outperformed Bitcoin by like 30% pump that happened. Of course, Bitcoin did not got a 30% move on an upside, but alts are definitely going good, which also brings to my point that let's say if that flush is simply your wave 4 and we are doing wave 5, and if this is just a wave 1 of something, and you're going to see another flush for wave 2 like this, because normally what happens is when you get a flush and the price goes up like this, you're definitely going to see a very nice accumulation like this, and then it runs up. Normally this is how it happens. So we haven't seen such sort of an accumulation on the 4 hours time frame. But if you look at from the 2 hours perspective as well, and if this is how it needs to be continued, I remember a very solid price action that we have seen in past on SPX. A flush, continuation, another flush happens, and then run up like this. So just wanted to show you one more thing. Look at SPX. Now it's very, very common to see such sort of things on SPX, I know, but it also helps us to understand how the price action might follow for, basically for any other asset class, or maybe you can just say any other, coins or something. So that's what every time we got a flush, as you can see over here, we got a flush, the price literally go up like here, and we got another little bit accumulation and then run up. But we got this flush and a little bit accumulation. Now this was a little bit different. I would not like to have it, but let's say even if you got a pump up like this, straight pump up, you definitely get a move on the downside. Now let's say you got a pump up like this, you really get a move on the downside. So in between, you really need some more bigger accumulation so that we can keep on continuing on an upside. And hence I believe, and I see at this point, that total 3 is likely going to go on a daily time frame. If I just have a look at here, let's find a big support or resistance level. So you have equilibrium as well. So the next big levels over here would be clearly, yeah, we are at a resistance right now of $745, $750 billion on a daily time frame. Anything above this, we are going to fly to $843 billion. So if you look at from the 4 hour perspective, what I would like to see is if we flip here, okay, honestly, if you're flipping here, we are likely going to go to $843 billion. And if we don't, if it rejects and come back down, I would like to see some accumulation, meaning I would like to see a flush, go back, retest the 685 billion, gonna hold it, and then gonna accumulate there and then go for a bigger impulsive move. Now, if that happens, let's say how much dump we can probably expect. The dump we can expect probably like 8% to 9%. And the pump we can expect in case of a flip of 745 billion. I am expecting then a very impulsive move towards the alts are going to pump like another 12% basically. So I do think, my friends, the alts that we are holding right now, Sand, Atom, in case if 745 billion flips, they are just literally going to fly, and we just don't need to worry about it simply because we are in good profits. Let just them play out, or be it sold actually. Let's just play out. I mean, for now we are at a very huge resistance, I agree, but we really need to wait and watch whether we are rejecting or whether we are flipping on a 4 hours time frame. So far, once this turns green over here, definitely we would be aiming for, we would be aiming for a run up towards $840 billion, as I mentioned. So I would not consider any of you guys shorting anything at this point. Yes, whatever you play with the cautiousness. Don't use leverage more than 2x, max 3x. I would not recommend using anything more than 3x in case of a flush happens. This might literally get you out. And then most important thing is spots are going to be very, very good. And even if it flushes, don't worry. It's just going to be like a V-shaped recovery. You get a good opportunity to buy more, and it's just going to go run up big. the plan for the DeFis are heating up, guys, and we are getting some good volume here. The most important thing about DeFi is, yes, we are literally at levels where we normally reverses the RSI. Is at the levels we literally go reverse or maybe go for like a sideways move or something. We literally get a reset basically. So that reset might happen probably in next week or so. In probably a week or so, but this reset is going to happen. And when the reset happens, that's going to be like a flush. We're more likely going to retest the $102 billion, maybe $103 billion on DeFi. And after that, you know it over here on this stream, I'm saying the DeFi is literally going to go nuts. It's going to simply go to a target of 200 billion. Now let's talk about it from the more log perspective. If you're talking on, you know, a new cycle beginning. So understand this whole scenario like this. Now, as you can see here, what we are literally, what's happening at this point. So practically, as you can see, DeFi started its bull run in August 2018 when we were at 926 million. In fact, it started its biggest bull run when we started crossing $1.3 billion in March 2020. It just run from 1.3 billion to 194 billion to $200 billion, practically giving almost like, I would say, 100x gains to everyone. And then what happened was the DeFi started in a bigger accumulation like this. Now I would consider this is like an accumulation, but what I would like to consider more of it is that even if this is like a big wave one for DeFi, we might get a pullback after this, making new highs for a wave two, maybe something like this. And then we are going to see a run up on DeFi towards, in my view, DeFi is going to be very big. The way we have seen a pump over here from 1 billion to 120 billion, I'm expecting a very similar move on DeFi. And my target for this overall bull run on DeFi is going to be, you know, a very similar move, practically, maybe even higher, but this is going to be a very classic move. So I'm expecting DeFi to go around $5 trillion. That would be my target, $5 to $5.5 trillion, meaning the DeFi currently sitting at $120 billion. Just imagine DeFi is having a biggest opportunity in market that they can literally give you 40 to 50x gains minimum. And you know, I gave you that buy zone for DeFi, which literally hit around 35 to $30 billion. I have got a lot of, you know, spots on DeFi. I have mentioned many times as well, but I don't have that big bags actually. Overall, only my overall portfolio on DeFi is just roughly around 5% of my cap. Overall, whatever the bags I have. In case if that happens, it's going to be clearly like 170x gains on DeFi coins. Practically for me personally, it's going to take a lot of time. It's going to happen in probably a year or so, but definitely this is going to be like a super cycle for DeFi. And I think that DeFi is going to be big. Something is going to happen with the DeFi. I mean, something will happen. Something will happen. Maybe some new DeFi, maybe, I don't know, something is going to happen. Some news are going to come out, but definitely this is what I have for DeFi, guys. And I do think you might be taking gains very, very early, but you might miss on the big thing that the DeFi can literally go nuts and probably, you know, can just probably make you life-changing money. You really need to, you know, probably hold it. That's what I would say, hold it. If you're having the spot bags, you bought it from the lows, I would say that you have literally got a very interesting, very interesting entries. So you really don't want to miss it. Yes, there's a possibility we might be retesting $39 to $40 billion probably in future before we run up to that $1 trillion mark on DeFi. But definitely I would say that if you have got some bags since bottom, I would say you just let it ride at least till 274 to $300 billion, you know. So that's all what I really wanted to talk about from DeFi and anything on the perspective. Now over here, let's talk about Bitcoin. As I mentioned in the morning as well, that Bitcoin is literally going to go to my target of 73,625 to 75,700 at some point of time. We have reached my target of 73,625 over here, and we are now rejecting. I think we're likely going to probably go like zigzag over here, slowly chop, slowly chop, and we're likely going to go to 75 to $70,000, 75 $700. And from there, we are likely going to see, because that's like very nice rising wedge to me at this point, and we are likely going to see then a nice flush in market on Bitcoin, because we really need those flush in Bitcoin, because if Bitcoin don't flush it here, you really won't be looking for an alt rallies. No, Bitcoin don't give you a flush, alts are not going to rally. But why I think that this flush is going to happen now, coming to the point, USD DOM is definitely giving me a sign of a reversal on the daily, on the 3 days chart, and on the weekly time frame for sure, meaning that this is the flush we would be anticipating for Bitcoin. Now, that everybody is going to be bullish on Bitcoin and they're just going to keep on buying at 69,100. The way I mentioned it yesterday as well, that 69,100 to 69,300 is the level. Sorry, 69,200 is the levels where Bitcoin is going to bounce from. And we literally went very much close to those levels, around 68,700, and bounced from there to 73,000. I personally took a long over there on my prop account, on my Bybit as well, and build another coin margin long at those levels. And I have booked profits actually, because profits are profits, even if it's like a 3 to 4% gains overall. But these are the levels. You need to just simply play the levels and go by the book over here. Just go look at like 7% move that we have got on so far from 69,150 to $200 levels. And it's just like feeling good. I'm literally out because it hit my 1 for 1 for fib. 1 for 1 for is always like a big fib for me actually. Now, if you flip 1 for 1 for, I'm really again going to scalp it from 73,625 to 75,700, and this is going to be going very, very quick actually at that point of time. For now, I think Bitcoin is likely going to do chop, and then this is how I see Bitcoin moving actually. I really don't see any further deviations or any further, accelerations at this point. Lot of dump we are seeing over here, lot of dump. Now, a lot of people are also saying that ETF had its biggest inflows of $1 billion yesterday and a lot of things, but then we need to literally ask ourselves as to how accurate these data are, as to what exactly does those data means actually. So just look at Bybit. Bybit basically is nothing but the spot Bitcoin for, spot Bitcoin, a trust for BlackRock. And if you look at here on Bybit, if you look at the 4 hours time frame, or maybe even just look at maybe like 2 hours time frame, what you will find and what it's going to show you that yesterday Bybit literally dumped with a very big dump of 4%. Even Bitcoin did not had it, and it recovered as well, but Bitcoin literally made like higher highs. Bybit have not. Yes, it is still, the pre is bullish. It is going to open around 41.4 to 41.5 today. But I still see that this, this whole parabolic move or a parabolic curve on Bybit is like we have reached all the fib levels normally a coin in its journey reaches normally. Even if you look at from CME perspective, if you look at from earlier, there was one future ETF that came for Bitso, for what do you say, for Bitcoin basically. So if you look at that as well, let me see if we are having anything over here. No, we don't have it. We don't have the chart, but unfortunately. But I mean, definitely I think that this whole move is coming very close to end in my view for Bybit. And when that happens and Bybit shares starts breaking down, the first target would be to sweep the lows around 34. That would be my primary target around here, and this is where it's going to give us a nice bounce probably like here, and then going to do something like this, or it probably just reverses and make another highs like this, and then it just do something like this. But I would like to see a sweep of this lows around 34, and once it happens, that will be the good buying opportunity for Bybit, or you can say Bitcoin at that point of time. So we just have to be slightly cautious. And very important thing about here for IBIT that nobody tells you, if you just look at the 4-hour time frame on IBIT, you will see that IBIT is like forming a big bearish divergence on 4-hour time frame. Continuous bear divergence is forming, you know, on 4 hours time frame. If you look at the 12 hours time frame as well, we have a bad divergence, as you can see on the RSI. If you look at the 2 hours time frame as well, we are already having a bad divergence, you know, my friends. So practically, you just have to be very cautious with IBIT actually. I mean, these are like times when they need a bigger liquidity in the market. If you're having a Bitcoin bags worth billions, let's say 30 to 40 billion dollar, you really want to offload your bags in the market, then you really need those buyers. From where these buyers will come? These buyers will come basically IBIT, you know, GBTC, Grayscale. Everybody is having big banners, you know, hoardings in US that invest in Bitcoin, invest, and people are going mad. And this is where they are generating lot of you know, liquidity in the market. Of course, even I was bullish on IBIT. If you remember, I mentioned that we are going to break out from this 24 and we're just going to go and make new highs. And that's exactly what IBIT did actually. I also bought IBIT actually on Fidelity basically, and it literally went very good. I personally sold IBIT around $38 to be honest, and because I was expecting it to reject from $38 to $40, which we literally went, and we rejected as well, you know. But I think we are very close to in my sell-off zone, which is something we need to be very cautious about on IBIT. I think most likely IBIT is going to see some nasty sell-off. Probably now that sell-off might happen in a very different fashion. Let me tell you how this sell-off might happen. The sell-off might happen in the form of a blow-off top. So what might happen is, yes, we might just pump it up like this and then we form like this. It's going to be like a blow-off top for IBIT. And it's just probably going to form another inverse head and shoulder kind of a thing. So anything above this is going to be like a deviation then. And then we go for a range lows. Once we come back inside the range, we target a pop like this. So that's how I think IBIT might do. Or a worst case scenario would be we simply dump from here itself, go back inside the range, and we start going back down like this. And then we reclaim the range and then we go up like this. That's how the basics of, you know, the price action normally, you know, happens like this. And also if you look at from the 4-hour time perspective, we are most likely forming a head and shoulder on RSI as well, which means the momentum is gradually reducing on IBIT over here. We are likely, I'm just getting the signs from RSI that we are very top on IBIT. IBIT is more likely going to see a nasty outflows in probably next few days. But that outflow is going to be like a trap. And after that, we are going to simply continue on an onwards journey for IBIT, maybe towards 50 and maybe towards 100. But that's what it's going to do. But trust me, guys, after this nasty move on an upside, normally you need something like this. You really need to go under a little bit accumulation like this, accumulate above the top like this, confirm its support, and then you run up another run up like this. That's how normally you want to see IBIT doing actually, you know. So that's what my target is. The next big buy I will be doing for IBIT would be somewhere around 29.6 to $28.5. That's what I would be buying. And let's see if I happen to get it, because my target then would be around $50 for those you know, IBIT shares. Let's see. Similarly, ladies and gentlemen, at this point, let's see, I have few alts. Solana, I think we have flipped the Monday highs, and remember what RSR did. RSR flipped Monday highs and it just gave a very interesting pump of like 48 to 50%. So I'm expecting Solana to hold the Monday highs. Until we are above Monday highs, we are good. It gave a small pump, but I'm just playing spots here, and I'm really happy. So let's see how it plays out. In case if we go back under Monday highs, I'm simply going to close it, Solana, for spots. I'll be DCAing, as I mentioned, till 152 or 151.5 exactly, so as to bring my entry towards 152.2, maybe $152. So that's why my average would be around 152 probably, so that, you know, the risk reward is amazing on the spot trade. So that's all what I have for today's stream. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, be very careful with the leverage, and um, I simply think that US dominance. I don't know, but I have a feeling that US dominance is likely going to close today as well above the RSI base damage, and it's going to give a clear signal. Hey, look, I am bullish. I have been turned bullish. Be very careful. Probably this is how it's gonna say fuck off, to everyone. So let's be cautious when we're talking about the USDT dominance, my friends. So that's all for today's stream. And if you have any queries, do ask me. Do not hesitate to ask anything. Whatever the spots I see, I'll gonna give you. Don't worry about it. I'm simply going to give you the spots so that we can ride it. Sand is still in good profits. It's above our average so far, and I think I'm just going to hold it, my friends. Literally, maybe we can move our stops to break even for sand, but overall I think sand is still looking good in my view. So let's see. The good opportunity is going to happen on Aave and Comp. I'm simply waiting for Aave and Comp, to come to my levels. And one, I think, sure, me and Jay, we three have given that buys for Aave. I think in case if I don't know whether it's gonna give, but in case if Vic happens, and if Aave decides to give a retest very close to the range lows, basically a big flush happens, and if he decides to get a retest of 120 to 115, I think I would be the big buyer of Aave. I would be like, just buy it. That's what I would say at that point of time. 120 to 115. Similarly, Comp as well. Comp is looking absolutely awesome. $80 would be, 80 to $75 would be a very big levels for Comp, and we should definitely be buying those at those levels. FET, the 15 minutes basically over here for the first time I'm seeing a sell signal and a lot of Doritos on 15 minutes. Let's see how does it plays out. We are holding the equilibrium. Honestly, my system says that we should short. The indicator says it should short actually, but based on the look of the price action, normally what I feel is we are this whole thing on FET, I think it's bullish. Why? Because look, understand, this is your range highs, this is your range lows. We have now got a deviation above. We would test the equilibrium, bounced, went back inside equilibrium, a deviation, support, and we are holding it till FET is above 2.6439. Till FET is above these levels, I think FET can run up, flip it here, and it can run up to $3.5 levels, honestly speaking. So the invalidation is very, I would say, close. But if FET loses the levels of 2.64, then my shorts are going to play very big. FET is likely going to go down like this. It's just simply going to do something like this and reclaim it and break out. Then it would do something like this. But overall, at this moment, I really don't see any bearishness in FET. So I would say don't short it, even if the bot have given you or signal just given you a sell. We got a buy over here. It played perfectly over here. As you can see, a pump to $3, or I would say even 3.1. I mean, short only once it loses 2.649. Till then, it's bullish actually, honestly, to me. Till we are above 2.649, FET is bullish. I really don't say it is bearish, and probably we might even start a new rally on AI actually. So you just simply have to probably wait for FET to for like 2.64 levels to lose, so that you can make a good money on FET for shorting. So till then, just don't short it, as I mentioned. Lose 2.64 and then short it. RNDR has been, I'm so unlucky with RNDR. I mean, my orders are missing like by few cents. Every time it goes close to my entry, it just miss. I don't know what's wrong with it. It went very close here. As you can see, my orders were at 10.5. It closed, it just went to 10.53. I don't know what's wrong with it. I mean, literally, we might be creating a big order block, but you know, the 1 hour Doritos are bullish. It's like 11.3 so far. It just went to 11.9 or 7.8 so far. I think it's bullish. The trend is still bullish. I don't know what 15 minutes is having. 15 minutes gave the sell signal, but I think, as mentioned for FET as well, once you know we start breaking out or flipping 11.65, this sell signal is going to invalidate, and we are likely going to see a nice breakout on RNDR towards maybe 12 or maybe even 13. Maybe I will just front run my bits. So I had limits, did not filled actually. I feel bad about it. And at this point, I'm feeling very bullish on RNDR and FET at this point, because both structures are still intact and they are holding very nicely. Till we are above 2.64, I see FET is slightly going, is definitely going like this. Flip it here and it just run us to 3.5. That's how it's gonna go. Once it starts losing back 2.64, it's gonna do something like this, then probably going to 2.3 and maybe 2.2. Basically, this is where you need to bid actually. $50 billion is max it's gonna go in my view. The AI bubble is gonna be $50 billion. I predicted the market cap of Metaverse at that point of time, and I mentioned that it's going to go max to 38 to 40 billion dollars. And yes, it went very close to those levels. 42, 41 billion max it went. And I also mentioned at that point of time, bye Metaverse, and we are going to see it under $10 billion in next few months. And yes, Metaverse went till $7.5 billion. The lows was around those levels. And now that Metaverse is waking up, I think Meta should also be doing good. All the Meta coins, AXS, you know, Mana, Sand, CHR, CHS, Chiliz, whatever, you know, ENJ, Engine, whatever coin, gaming coins or Metaverse coins basically. Those coins are mostly, every coins have closed above weekly EMA 100, guys. And trust me, if you just have this weekly EMA 100 on your chart, and whatever the coins that has flipped the weekly EMA 100 and have closed the candle above, those coins are going to run nuts, probably. So that's how the market, and we have been catching big moves with the help of those things. So that's my analysis for today. You have any questions, you can ping me always, guys. Basically, this is my the time has changed. Also use our screener, guys, that we have. The screeners are very helpful. I'm using it in and out. Someone suggested me to have, my friend suggested me to have a digital timer, a UTC based timer on a screener on our website, so that you know people from various time frames can know exactly as to when this call happened, or when this thing, a flip or something has happened. The screeners are giving lot of notifications, you know, and just update on real-time basis. So I'm just going to try to put that clock, digital clock, on our you know, website as well, so that you guys can literally make the best out of those screeners free of cost. In this whole space, you really won't get any screener you know, so far, like divergent screener or any sort of support resistance screener, you know, and those are very accurate, trust me. I personally tested it. The accuracy levels are almost way close to 75%. Of course, you can't get in 100% accuracy, but 75% is, and very good accuracy in my view. JTO, I don't know whether I've charted this coin previously, but let's just have a look of JTO. JTO. I mean, I'm not gonna go into the heart and time frame, but H4 is looking awesome, and this coin is gonna pump. Let me tell you how and why. Maybe you understand my, you know, you understand my the patterns that I've posted for Bitcoin, you know. So just imagine you got a flash down with a V-shaped recovery in ABC formation, you know, 3 waves on an upside, and then you got a 3-wave move on the downside. Basically what JTO is going to do is, we are most likely going to see something like this, maybe you know, just go under like 2.6 and reclaim it till it's about 2.59. I think JTO is going to do something like this. it's going to run up. This is what, but it needs some time for accumulation above the equilibrium, basically 2.59. 2.59 is your support. Anything under 2.59, you look for bid on JTO around, in my view, would be somewhere around 2.38 to 2.36. Your invalidation would be under this week that we have around 1.85. You buy spots bags with your invalidation under this, and you let your spot bags ride for the target of 3.8 to $4. But that's how it's going to take some time for accumulation. But this is a very bullish pattern on H4, guys. Very bullish. It is going to take some time for a bigger accumulation in this whole range. And once that happens, I think it's going to be very, very good for JTO. Now, let me, before I mean, my analysis is done. XRP, I'm bullish on XRP till we are above 69 cents. But it seems like it's just going to, break down. But let's see, we are still holding it. The level's very close to 69 cents. We are having a lot of Doritos over here on the green, as you can see. Yes, after the Doritos happened at 68.85, we did pump to 70.29. I would say that's what it pumped. From here, all the Doritos, as you can see, it pumped almost 2.2%, and almost giving you 1.2 to 1.3 R basically. So I think the Doritos have partially played out. And I think more or less what it might just do is, once it flips the 69 cents, I think XRP should fly. Losing 69 cents on 1 hour time frame, and XRP is gonna die, trust me. And I'm not kidding for those things. One more spot bags I ask everybody to buy is Key over here. Key was one of the shit coins on Binance, but it was listed under the AI. Actually, people told me that. But looking to this, our Key bags are pumping, and it seems to me like that we got a nice move on Key. Actually, what is our average on Key? Whoa, let us see. Our average on Key is, I'm just checking mine because on Binance it shows you, yeah, N3, our average is 8410. That's our average. So basically not much of a pump, but I think it's a beginning of something actually. 84, let's say here, like a 8% move, not much, but it went 14%. I feel this is like a shit coin. It's a very high risk, high reward, guys. And if you look at from the perspective of a log scale over here on the weekly time frame, this shit coin is looking good actually. This is like a bigger accumulation that's happening on a weekly time frame, and on Key. So that was like a move here, and that's like A, B, C, and now we are just accumulating here for a run up. And we have been flipping a big level. So this level is flipped, the big level is flipped. Now we are at a bigger resistance again. So we just need to flip here at 10. Once this level is flipped as well, basically, once it flips, Key is going to fly, in my view, towards maybe 4.3, and maybe I don't know how far it's going to go because it's a shit coin with a low market cap. And let's see how it's gonna play. Just I would say, don't go big in this. Manage your risk. It's a totally shitcoin call. So let's see. Nowhere I'm affiliated with this. I bought it along with you guys on Binance, and let's see how it plays out. Maybe even 2x, 3x would be nice if it does. It would be very, very good actually. If it literally does, something like this, amazing it would be. Let's see. Now, most important thing I want to give you or tell you is FET analysis. Normally what happens is an asset normally tends to go 2x of what its range was previously. So if I just have to, and you need to go to the log scale, if you really want to draw these things, you need to do it in the log. So if you are saying that you really want to know the target for FET, You simply draw the range from the highs for FET. Basically, let's say this was the previous highs for FET, okay, and this was your lows for FET. So practically, which means that we are very much not in, I mean, we are very early stages of the bull run. Basically, we're likely going to be in a bigger accumulation. So normally what happens is, normally the price normally targets like two levels we're going to target. The first levels are going to be equilibrium, which is going to be 5.5. And at some point, even after we hitting 1618, it's going to be like a bigger accumulation. But I do think that FET can literally go to $25 as well if I just go with this theory actually. And yes, this theory is normally valid for Bitcoin actually. I'm not sure how it's going to be valid for FET, but this is how the target normally looks like. And now it's a very important thing for you guys to understand. A very important thing. Remember what FET did. FET, begin on Binance over here on 2019 with 51 cents. It dumped, and since then, in a parabolic move, it got like here, it just kept on pumping from there to almost $1.1 practically, and then we go for a bigger accumulation like this, and then we break out. Similarly, a very important thing, two things we are learning here. First, the target for FET, primary target is 5.5. It's gonna go there by hook or by crook. I am buying spots on FET, and I'm damn sure it's gonna hit those levels at some point. 1.8 to 1.65 dollars on FET is where I'm buying big, bag again on FET. I'm just going to compound my trade because I've got big bag on FET above 22.5. Basically, this equilibrium that we have here. Once we started flipping this equilibrium, we got a big bag, if you remember, and I'm still holding it. My primary target is 5.5 and 8.3, but it can literally extend towards maybe $26. And in case if that happens, I think FET is likely going to then probably see a dump from those levels towards, at that point, it's just going to be like a bigger dump as everybody expects will be somewhere to 24-25 cents for an FET at that point of time. So I do think, guys, you really are a bag holder for FET. You should not be selling it. You might be seeing your bag like a big, I would say very bullish or something, or maybe like you are in good profits. But I would say just imagine if FET is going to $6, $8, how big your bag would be. So the opportunity for FET would come on a retest of 1.8 to 1.65 dollars. Don't miss it, and it's gonna happen. It might happen from here. It might happen after 3.5 to $4 as well, but it is going to happen at some point. Every time I have seen AXS, just take it whatever the coin you want to check it, they have tested these levels after, and from those levels of 1.13, we pump up. So you can't just ignore it. It's going to happen. Similarly, RNDR as well. Now, in case if something like this happens and FET does another 10x from here, like from the current price to another 8x. So what is the current market price for FET, ladies and gentlemen? Let me just check it for now. What is the market cap? I think it's around 4 billion or what, 3 point something. FET. FET. So FET, the current market cap of FET on CoinGecko, it's loading, is how much? Is around $2.8 billion. Okay, and if you say that if it is have to do another 8x from here, basically, was it 8x or how much? So the current price is around 2.7. From there, we are saying that FET will be pumping another like 8x practically. So if I just put it down to 27, it would be 10x, right? No, there's some issue. I think there's a log scale, that's why. From the current price to $26, basically. Yeah, it would be 8.25. So 2.9 into 8.25 would send it to around $24 billion of market cap, which would be too much actually, too much. And hence, you know, probably I would just stick to my target of $9 for now, $9 to $10 max. As I mentioned, you know, anywhere between $9 to $11 the target would be on FET at this point, and still it is going to be good from $1.7 FET actually. So, but in case if it go AI go nuts and my 50, it just probably can go above $50 billion. If it goes for $100 billion, then yes, FET target would be then $26 actually, but max it will go there. Max, it won't go beyond 26. No matter, it's not gonna go anywhere, anything above $26. Talking about, you know, one more important alt that I want to talk about is Litecoin. As I mentioned, you know, 104 is the biggest levels and the mother of levels for Litecoin. So yes, we rejected very harshly. I took a shot, you know, just to see how strong this level is, and paid very nicely. But at this point, I would say that once this level 104 flipped on the weekly time frame or on the daily time frame, I think Litecoin is simply going to go nuts, and this is going to be like a double bottom sort of a thing from the range low perspective, and double top sort of a thing from the range highs perspective. So practically this is going to be like, you know, a very interesting scenario where we flip this neckline. This is going to be your neckline. And once Litecoin flip this neckline of 104, I am seeing Litecoin pumping from 104 to an easy, you know, I mean, it's going to go to the target of, you know, this is how it's going to go. It's probably going to go to $300 basically. That's how big it will go actually. So let's see what we get it. But for now, you don't FOMO it. Let it wait for 104 flip. Once it flips, we are going in. Not now. Similarly, I have mentioned about FET heart and time frame. Let's also look for, you know, what do you say? One of the alt. INJ. Forgot about it. INJ got a very nice impulsive move, and it got a nice move on an upside. But before we go down to INJ chart, I want to see whether it has a dominance chart. Yeah, perfect. That's what I need. This is going to be my chart in my view that INJ is, guys, this is the parabolic chart that we really want to see for INJ, and it's perfectly playing out. INJ dot dominance is looking hot, and it's perfectly playing out the way we want it to play, which means that INJ dot dominance is going to go for a big swing on an upside. The bottom is in for INJ dot dominance, and INJ dot dominance is going to pump to a minimum target of 0.3%. Meaning, if total crypto market cap is currently sitting at how much? $2.6 trillion, for example, 2.9. And if INJ, if let's say the total crypto market cap stays at $2.9 trillion, and if INJ is going to go to 0.3%, then we are saying that INJ market cap is going to go to $8.8 billion, or what? Into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, my calculator is not fitting the zero. Interesting. 2.9 trillion. So 2,290 basically, and then you 0.3%. It's going to be it's not going to be 8.7. It's going to be $87 billion basically. That's what it's saying, you know, or maybe I'm having a mistake actually. But 0.3% INJ. Let me just open a calculator actually on Excel. Excel can help me a lot actually. So basically we are saying that $2.9 trillion is our, you know, practically the market cap. Okay. Which means that 0.3% would be equivalent to 0.0087 trillion dollars, okay, which is equivalent to one. Where is that sign? Yeah, perfect. It's matching, so this is perfect. How many zeros? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, it will be around 8.7 billion dollars. How much what is the current market cap for INJ? Let's just check it once. What is the current market cap for INJ? This is just a very mathematical calculation I'm saying, guys, and this is what the next thing which is going to come on our website. The probability is based on the dominance chart basically, which is something you won't get it anywhere, and which is very, very helpful in these times when you really want to predict the market cap of a coin. So hold on. Current market cap is 4.4 billion, which means that we can literally double it. So we are going to pump it maybe, if the market cap stays, the total crypto market cap stays intact at 2.9 trillion, INJ is poised for $105 target, 105 minimum, 105 guys. So INJ, if $2.9 trillion market cap stays intact, INJ is going to go to 105. If let's say the market cap from $2.9 trillion went to $4 trillion, for example, so INJ's market cap would be would be around $12 billion, which would be roughly around 3x, would be around 150, 150 levels. It can't even go much. I'm just anticipating it's like 100%, and after that it's going to dump. So practically INJ dominance is bullish, and INJ is going to go for a $100 target. Very, very bullish, guys. Very bullish. $100 is my target. $101 to $102 is going to be my target for INJ at this point, sticking to $2.9 trillion total crypto market cap. Let's talk about INJ USD.P. Let's go to the INJ chart. So yesterday we got a very nice breakout on INJ. We rejected from $52 on 1.4 Fib. It hit my take profit targets as well. And now that we are holding the spot bags, now a lot of people might be saying that, yeah, look, what if this is just like, base 1 and then you just got like a base 2. But what if I say that? What if I say, if I just probably just put a lock chart over here, and then probably you'll be able to understand much better. So what if I simply say that we are still in a very early stage of like, in my view, from the lock perspective, INJ target is clearly $100, maybe even higher, $120 as well. It can just simply run up more than 0.3%, but overall the INJ dot dominance is bullish, very, very bullish. One thing we need to understand is, the second thing is, let's go to the normal chart for now. Let's go, just scroll it up big. So how many of you guys have gone through my educational material posted on my Discord? If you would have gone through it, then you would be knowing what I'm doing. So we are going to go for a 90-degree angle over here. Perfect. Just going to slightly improvise it over here. Even though we have reached my 1414, but trust me, the 113 Fibonacci level is going to hell as a support. So 113 is where I need some, my fibs are pretty much authentic and accurate, normally. The next target would be somewhere around 3414 to 3 Fibonacci levels minimum, and maybe 3414. Okay, that would be the target. which would be around here. I'm just going to simply have it 90-degree angle to this. So if you know the parabolic curve theory, if you would have gone through my educational content that I've posted in Discord and even on my website as well, this is like the first base for INJ. You see, this is like a base 1 actually. For me, this was the base 1. You got an accumulation, we are running back up. Now that we got a base 2 over here, like a bigger base that we were waiting for, I think that INJ is preparing for a bigger, I would say, you know, I'm just simply going to take it very much, yeah, close to these levels. So I expect this is like a bigger accumulation. So the breakout would be bigger. And in my view, the breakout normally for a base 3, that base would be somewhere between 86 to, the new base is going to form anywhere between 86 to 2414 Fibonacci levels, which is $69 basically. That's going to be our new accumulation base. And so I believe that INJ is like forming a big parabolic curve, and I expect it to run to 86 to $87 minimum. It's bullish, and I expect it to, you know, accumulate slightly over here, right over here, and then it run back up turbo. And maybe worst case scenario that, you know, as I mentioned, 100 is the minimum target for INJ. Might be it can go for a full-fledged bull run target for 565 Fibonacci levels and 7618. Normally a 7618 extension happens when the price is literally in its third wave. So INJ is not in its third wave, so practically I would just simply go with the 565 Fibonacci levels. Okay, we are not going much higher at this point. That's what I'm saying. So $125 from here, the $670 would be your 100% move almost, and then that would be your fourth base over here, a breakout, and then we dump and come back down to 70, and that's how it's gonna go. So INJ is bullish. The invalidation of this whole move is $30. We come back under $30 and INJ is done. So that's how the invalidation levels would be for INJ. But this is a very interesting parabolic curve theory for INJ. Based on this theory, any dip towards $45 to $47 is for buying. The invalidation would be clearly for you guys would be 42.4. The worst case would be 40. If you really want hard stop loss, 42.4. Soft stop loss, $40. And you should be riding it till, you know, maybe $87 max. It can go to $100 in no meantime. INJ dominance is bullish. INJ USD pair is bullish, and I think I'm gonna hold my spot bags that I bought around average of $30. I'm gonna let it ride till, you know, INJ close back under $40, or it just keeps on bumping towards $100. That's what I'm gonna do. But INJ is going to be your next you know, 1x to 1.2x coin actually. That's what INJ would do. So that's all from my today's stream, guys. Probably I just have to go prepare myself for prayer, and we're going to connect in the evening, guys. If you like this content, please like it. Almost close to 100 people are there on the stream. Please just press the like button, share it so that a lot of people can watch these videos and get benefit out of it. And if you do like to know much about or anything, you have any questions, just ping me on Twitter or in Discord, guys. I always respond to you no matter what. Might be a little bit late, but I do it actually. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a nice day. Take care.